Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Better, a show about two longtime friends trying their best, growing up, and hopefully getting better. I'm Zach Johnson.
And I'm Sam Cherry, and
Whoa.
this is the gritty reboot of Sam Cherry.
Oh
Zach,
my gosh.
I have gotten into a great rhythm this last week.
Okay.
Let me tell you my day. I do my job. I work on videos. And then at lunch, I watch an episode of The Boys. And then I go back and I work on more videos. And then when I get off work, I sit in my chair and I read Watchmen, which are two very similar properties.
Yes.
In fact, so much so that I do get confused about plot points of both of them because they both have an ongoing mystery, and I'm just like, now which one had this thing in it? Because I'm totally coincidentally, one by your recommendation, the other because I just like picked it up in a bookstore last week. I'm reading the two gritty reboot What If Superheroes Were Real? That Would Probably Be Bad, huh?
Yeah.
Properties.
Where one
both
is like, one is a really, one is sad in a way of just like nihilism sort of way. And the other one is a spicy nihilism that has capitalism mixed in. It's like paprika. Put a little capitalism in there. Ooh, that's a spicy meatball. That's a spicy Totino's meatball.
Brought to you by Totino's.
I'm not gonna say brought to you by Totino's because Totino's, they sponsor some weird shit.
Really?
And yes, Totino's is all over the place where like Tim and Eric did a video for them like a decade ago, and it's still to this day. It was like, I don't know if you knew this, but Tim and Eric did the precursor. Tim and Eric are these two comedians who make really absurdist content that goes into a level of like making fun of capitalism, making fun of consumerism, but in a way that's so odd that some people in the future will probably classify it as some sort of pop art. Anyway, Totino's, they paid them a bunch of money to do this bonkers off the wall video. And then Totino's also does like other weird internet videos where like if something is getting into this like absurdist area, I can then like Totino's probably has their hand.
Totino's has got some money in this one.
Yeah. So listen, we could probably if we kick it up into the absurdist notch, I think it's like, you got your low level sponsors. I think they're like a mid-tier one. I'm not going to say the top tier ones because no free advertising.
Of course, fuck them. I mean, unless they want to give us money, and then we'll start saying their name and stop bleeping it out.
So anyway, yes, spicy capitalism, spicy meatball capitalism, and that is The Boys.
Well, one of them is basically, what if in the Cold War, actually America was the bad guy? And then the other one's what if still now America was the bad guy? And it's like, yeah, we know.
And then, you say, so you mean in our timeline?
You mean our reality? And then it's like, what if capitalism? It's like, yeah, you mean now? I mean, again, they know. It's not like the shows are good. Well, I keep saying shows. I haven't seen the Watchmen show. I've seen the Watchmen movie. I'm reading the comic. And I've already gotten some of the little bits that I know are different. Like, I don't know what's different in the comic. So there's still a lot of intrigue and like, oh, I wonder what's going to go on here. But I've already gotten a little of that. We're like, oh, that's different from the movie. Because I used to love the movie. I hear people really don't like it.
I loved when they would do slow motion and they would just like kick dudes' asses. That was like
cool.
My favorite part.
It's a cool ass movie. Anyway, I've hit some of the parts that I know are different of like plot points, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm interested in what this is. And then The Boys, I'm almost done with season 1, but it's my new lunchtime show, and
that's a good lunch.
It's good. It's a good show, man. So that's where I'm at. Is I'm at a gritty reboot of superhero movies because like they were real.
I
have a lot of script doctor for you. And
great. I'll say
I'm shattering them out.
I am. Well, we're starting this show with a recommendation station.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So The Boys is really great. I would say, there's like a tier list. I think art just kind of moves in this way where like whoever becomes top dog has to get brought down a notch by someone being like, well, what if it was real? Like
Yeah, sure.
think iPhones or just technology in general. And then Black Mirror was like, what if your phone was your girlfriend? And then that knocks those phones down a notch, because now I don't want to be on my phone all the time, because what if I get Black Mirrored?
What if your laptop took your shoes? Yeah, well, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess you're right.
What if your laptop had 2 more laptops? And they all sat all 3 on top of each other, and then they got 3 laptops, and then it got such a high tower of laptops it killed your mum.
Yep. What if a toaster had AI, and then your toaster became your best friend?
What if your toaster could talk to you about how dark your toast was? Huh? And then it burned your mum. What about that?
In this episode of Black Mirror, your refrigerator is your best friend. So the commentary is already kind of there, eh? What
if your tires had Bluetooth? Huh? What if your tires had Bluetooth and they killed your mom? They killed your mom. Or like your girlfriend or something, or they became your girl. What if your tires had Bluetooth and then you dated your tires? What if that?
I can't.
Black Mirror.
I cannot mock Black Mirror, and I can't do it, because I'll have to write something better than Black Mirror before that happens, and but I would have to get into that sort of mindset, right? I would have to like be holding my phone and just kind of go, all right, what if and like it's when their writing process is, it starts with what if, and it's just like phone question mark killed your mom,
right?
Yeah, that's, or like, killed someone else's mom or what have you.
What if your phone killed your mom is the elevator pitch for Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Like, I got a new show for you. It's like, okay, what if your phone killed your mom? It's like, shit. All right, cool. Yeah, I guess you're right.
That is pretty rad. And then it's
here's all the money.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny, because like there are some really groundbreaking Twilight Zone episodes.
Sure.
But it's like at the time you have to kind of watch them under the lens of when they came out. Because if you like pitched them now, you'd be like, this is like a shitty Black Mirror episode. But Black Mirror, doesn't push that kind of genre forward, where like, there's like, okay, here we go. What if you in a casino and you won all the time, and you when you were gambling you were always winning, and then you thought you were in heaven, but it turns out you were in hell?
Yes, exactly.
What if that?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's like, okay, and then what? Sorry,
and then
but all the machines are AI. Okay, I guess. What if your mom killed your dad, but also you had a smartphone? I'd probably be more upset about the mom and the dad thing, right? Huh?
What if you were on a road trip and there was a stranger, a hitchhiker, always trying to get in your car, and it turns out that you were dead the whole time, and the hitchhiker was an angel, and then that updated for Black Mirror. What if that hitchhiker was a bloody Roomba?
What if that hitchhiker was your phone? I guess.
Yeah, that's honestly pretty sick.
Oh, I honestly just realized that you were describing Twilight.
Each one, and let's get some pig masks going, guys.
What if all you wanted to do was read, and then all the people were gone, and then you could read, but your glasses broke? But no, wait, hold on, let me go back. What if all you wanted to do was read, but there were so many people around, and then all the people were gone, and all the books, and all you had was a Kindle, and then your Kindle broke?
No, it'd be even more pedantic. Like, what if your Kindle, your battery died, and there
that's exactly what it is.
And then a bloody mouse ate through your extension cord.
And also, all the people are gone, so there's no more power stations. There's way more problems than the fact that guy's glasses are broken. But here's the thing. I've seen a little bit.
Yeah, I know. The difference is because like it's the end of it where he is like, there was time now, and it's just like, what?
Go get more glasses.
Go, or like, I mean, I need glasses, but it's not that bad. Like I can probably still read a book. Then again, I'm nearsighted or whatever. Whatever's the one where if you have to put on glasses to read books, I don't have that one.
I have
So,
perfect eyes, so I have no idea.
oh well, man, you have no idea what it's like. You don't know what it's like.
Up here, I'm like Homelander. I'm just better than everyone.
Yeah, it's good to know your standing across history. Where if you were born in the Middle Ages,
Yeah.
you'd probably be a freaking jouster or whatever, and I'd be some dude just like, man, I really hope.
Literally, the difference between good eyes and bad eyes, like I'm a duke and you're covered in pig shit. It's just like, this is how it works here, I guess.
I like if you have bad eyes, I don't have a cool job, that's for sure. I'm just man, this world is hell, dude.
They just throw your ass off a cliff and I don't know.
And then there's like one person's talking and there's just like, I see really good. It's like, dude, you must be a wizard. Like you're a wizard, that's what that is. Or you have good blood. Like you're
or if
like,
you're a woman, you're a witch and they kill you.
Yeah. It's like you have divine blood because you can see. Buddy, I don't even know.
I would do great. I would do
I'm sure you would. I'm
terrible.
I can't even piece myself in that world. I think I'd be some peasant, and I'd be doing fine,
To be fair, we'd all be peasants, but
yeah, I would have like some kind of task. I don't know, like shoveling. I think it'd be nice.
Shit shoveler.
Yeah, shit shoveler. That'd be nice, just
My
just
job's
like
to shit shovel the shit.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes you just want to get away. That's like the thing about that Black Mirror is like, man, don't you just want to get away from your phones and just shovel some shit? Like just do like that's my gap year. My gap year is going back and like working in a Renaissance fair. I'm just like, man, this is so much better. My phone's not trying to date me.
Yeah, honestly, they had it easy in the Middle Ages. They never had to have like a midlife crisis or like, figure out how to turn 40 and what they do now because they never turned 40. They just like
and
became like 25 and
you didn't have the pressure of
got dysentery.
You didn't have the pressure of knowing that Lenny Kravitz is 56 years old and is shredded. Like they don't like because now
so many buff famous guys. I feel like every week you tell me about a different famous guy that's buff.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's quarantine now, so if anything, I feel like a lot of buff famous guys are coming out of the woodwork now, and it's kind of going like, "What have you been doing?" Like, I think this really is when Men's Health magazines are cooking. Like they are shoveling out some A+, make you feel bad about yourself content because it's just like, well, you're gonna like. You're like, what are you gonna do about it, sad boy? Like, you're not gonna like. There's nothing you can do. You can't even stop any of these like nominations from happening. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. So might as well get shredded. That's something you can control. It's like when you lose. It's actually a great idea. That's the place to be. Is to.
I've completely lost the thread of what you're talking about.
That's the job. That this is. I'm going to get a job as a men's health expert magazine guy
in the Middle Ages.
No, yes. I'm gonna start the first one. No, I lost that completely because I was talking about buff guys.
Yeah, you really lost me there, but
sorry, brother.
Anyway, whatever.
Anyway,
you
so The Boys
are going
really
to
good.
start. The Boys is really good. There's some buff boys in that.
Yeah, The Boys is a really good show. It's got Carl Urban. He's doing some good stuff. It's got Jack Quaid.
I don't know who these people are.
Jack Quaid he plays Huey, and here's a fact that's gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
Jack Quaid is
my phone. Is he my phone?
No, he's not your phone.
Is
Jack
he my mom?
Quaid is the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan.
Crazy.
I think that's wild because when you see him, you're just like, oh, you're just like a guy just like me. You're just some guy that came to LA with dreams, and it's like, nope, famous dad, famous mom.
I've never seen an actor that when I saw him, I said, oh, you're just a guy like me. What does Dennis Quaid look like?
Dennis
Quaid. It's the point that they're attractive or something?
No, it's just it's just like you think that because Jack Quaid just looks like a dude that it's like. You wanted to assume that he was a guy with a dream, but no, he was just a famous person and, got into Hollywood by probably getting interviews from people being like, "Ah, you're Dennis's boy."
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's kid. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, here's a little picture of all three of them.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. I
Oh,
bet
he really does look like a synthesis of the two of them. I mean, he is because he's their child, but like, wow, he looks like both of them.
it's just, you know, I totally forgot. Like he had totally he'd gotten away from me because I had forgotten, much like everyone, that Dennis Quaid existed.
I couldn't tell you a movie Dennis Quaid is in.
Dennis Quaid
I don't know shit about Dennis Quaid. I know his name, but I don't know him. Or
Dennis
Meg Ryan.
Quaid is in Yours, Mine, and Ours.
Sleepless in Seattle? Oh, he's the dad in that.
Dennis Quaid is like if you couldn't get I'm trying, like, he always had like sort of like a vibe in like action movies where it's like, well, couldn't get Bruce Willis. Let's see let's see what Dennis is up to.
He kind of looks like Pierce Brosnan, but like a shitty Pierce Brosnan. That's what I look at him.
Okay,
and I think,
yeah, that's pretty
Brosnan?
good. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he really needed his own series of American James Bonds, but then friggin' Matt Damon just came through with that Bourne movies, and that was it for him.
Yeah. Wait, was he in the Bourne movies?
No, he was not. But I'm just saying, Matt Damon was in the Bourne movies.
I know, but Matt Damon wasn't James Bond.
But you know, Jason Bourne is like drugs? Jason Bourne's like American James Bond.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying
like I'm saying like
saying Dennis Quaid should have been American
while
James
Pierce
Bond,
Brosnan was cooking as James Bond, they should have come out with the Bourne movies earlier. But all we had was like Tom Clancy novels, and that name doesn't hold weight.
With Jack Ryan.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So speaking of James Bond, I saw Knives Out. Good ass movie.
It is a good ass movie.
Yeah, me and Sophie watched it together. Good ass movie.
That's good for a recommendation station right there. That's
everybody should watch that good ass movie.
Yeah, have you seen Murder on the Orient Express?
Nah, I haven't. I'm a shitty film student.
I haven't seen it either. So,
but I'm great.
I hear, you know, it's like
here it's also good.
Yeah, you hear about like, you know, it's he really did a service to all of us, which is just letting us have something we like. Where people are like, that's not creative. It's like, just let us have a whodunit. Like, come on, I want it. I just want a little whodunit.
It's one of those movies where, yeah, I got to the end of it and I was like, man, movies are good. I'm glad this is just a good movie, and they're not gonna have like Knives Out 2: The Reckoning. Like, this is just Knives Out. It's a good movie. It makes sense. I really liked it. It was fun all the way through, and I got to leave. And I wasn't like beholden to. It's like, well, now you've got to watch this franchise where you need 4 streaming services and you need to watch 185 movies to understand what's going on. It's like, nope, just here's a movie. It's a movie. Watch the movie. Movie's over. Movies are fun, huh? Yeah, I liked that movie. It was great. Oh, like Cats. Exactly like Cats.
I didn't know whether or not you were leading into something, but I'm about to wreck your whole shit.
Is there a Knives Out 2: The Reckoning?
There's going to be a Knives Out 2: The Reckoning.
Fuck!
And it's going... The movies are going to, much like Agatha Christie's novels, they're going to follow the detective character.
Oh, that's fine.
And it's going to be him solving little mysteries.
That's fine.
And the thing about him is, you know, he's like, Daniel Craig is really going for that accent. He's really letting us have it.
He's doing it, though. He's really doing it.
He's really... you can never once tell us that he's not doing it, because he is doing that accent.
Also, Simon Pegg in The Boys, that's an American ass accent.
No,
I have to remind myself that I mean, I know he's Simon Pegg, but I'm just like, damn, you're doing it. That is an American accent, like 100%.
Yeah, he's doing it. But
it's spooky. It's spooky how American he sounds.
It's Daniel Craig is gonna be doing some other mysteries. And my impression of that movie was he seemed kind of dumb. Like, a lot of clues were getting past him, and us as the audience were getting to see everything it unfold for us. But I feel like I figured it out like, you know how you are supposed to be
obviously can't talk about how it goes. But
yeah, but like, you know, you're figuring it out at the same time that like everyone else is, but then because they're giving you all the clues, it's not like Sherlock where it's like it shows you a scene And then Sherlock is like, you didn't notice this and this and this and this, you idiot, you idiot, you're so dumb. I'm Sherlock, I'm the smartest boy.
What if actually it was this lady from the beginning of the episode who has no clear motivations, and then she explains her entire connection whole cloth while she's holding a gun at the end of the show? What if it was like that and she was your mum? Yeah, not a good show. Sherlock sucks ass. Don't watch it. It sucks. Hey guys, I've never been so betrayed by a series that I thought was so good, and then not only was so shitty, but looking back was always shitty. I feel personally attacked by Sherlock. It's a shitty show no one should watch.
I feel personally attacked by it in that I was on the bandwagon where I thought it was good.
You and I were both. We were
exactly.
way
I think
into
I think everyone was on the bandwagon, and then it was like, "Hey guys, remember this?" Turns out it was really bad, and it was like, "Oh no, it was bad the whole time."
Well, we talked about this probably like episode 1, but
probably
in episode 1 of Sherlock, where it's like, oh, you know, in the original, in like this, in the what is it, in the books, the poison was in the water. Oh, that's really clever. What'd they do in the show? They just shot him with a gun. And Sherlock literally said, yeah, I didn't know which was which. Oh, so you didn't really figure out shit or know shit about shit. You just kind of like, we're gonna die now. Awesome. Good detective guy.
Good detective.
A guy texted you, said, get in the cab. And then you basically were just gonna take his poison, but your friend shot him. So that's not really a detective story, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good show.
I like spoilers for Sherlock. I like the spoilers
show sucks, doesn't matter.
Spoilers for Sherlock, even the books. Sherlock famously fakes his own death, and
right.
in the show, it's like, so sure, like at the end of it, it's like, so Sherlock, how'd you do it? Fuck you, that's how I did it. And then it's just like,
some of that I like.
And they like, it's funny because even in the show, it has like different plausible like answers that people came up with the internet, and then it like was like, but that's dumb. And it's like, why is it dumb? And it's just like, because that's not how it happened. It happened much smarter. Also off screen. Also because we've established that we're smart and you're dumb, we don't have to show it on screen. You just have to take our word for it. You wouldn't get it.
That's where it's bad. Because like there is a scene where they have a character who's a character from the show, and he's like going through all of the conspiracy theories that are obviously from the internet, because there's a huge hiatus between season 2 and 3. And that I think is funny, and that I think is good, and I like kind of poking fun at the fans of like, I don't know, whatever, it's fine. I think it's fine to make fun of your fans a little bit. But then what's
up, mud gods? You guys suck. You are fans, and you guys are dumb, and I don't care if you're from Ireland or California or wherever you are, sucks.
Nah, you guys are great. Okay. But then when it's like, okay, so what was the answer? They're like, oh, we don't know. Like, oh, fuck you then. No, fuck you. Like, it's fine to make fun of the fans and just be like, oh, you have all your silly conspiracy theories, and here are the really weird and crazy ones. If in your back pocket you have, here's what it really was, we're smart. It's just like, nope, we don't. I don't know how it happened, whatever. Because it's like, oh, whatever. I'm just waiting to get to the 30-minute mark, because boy howdy, I have got a script doctor for you. It is. Let's go.
Let's waste some time. Let's just get into it.
Is anyone a doctor?
I honestly am just fucking killing time.
And if you're amped, you're a rebooted Sam. You're jazzed, brother.
I'm a gritty reboot of Sam. Imagine what if he was real. It'd be like this, and it'd be like edgy.
And I'm wearing a leather jacket and sunglasses.
I have made a discovery. Not only am I introducing you to a segment of Script Doctor, I'm introducing you into a segment of a segment of Script Doctor.
Oh gosh, this is, don't know.
This is the beginning of a series in Script Doctor, because I found a show. I don't want you to look it up yet, and listeners, I don't want you to look it up either, because there is just a reveal. But it is called Well, I won't tell you what it's called. Let me just read you the last line
Hold on.
of the synopsis. Blah blah blah's premiere episode. It was shitty. People didn't like it. Viewership decreased as the season progressed, and the series was canceled. Parentheses, along with 7 other NBC series
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
in December of 1983.
Ooh,
We
they're
all know the
going
novel
going into the
1984.
vault for this one. This is Script Doctor The Vault. This is
We all
some
know-
General Hospital.
We know the novel 1984 and the dystopic future that it predicted. Big Brother, propaganda, censorship. But what George Orwell, yeah, that's the author. What George Orwell did not predict was that the 1983-1984 lineup of NBC canceled every single new program that it put out that year.
Oh my gosh.
Now this
this is a good opportunity for me to say George Orwell is a coward
why?
because he didn't predict that. You know, he was so off.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
1984
Yes,
was
of course.
nothing like it was in his book.
He said nothing about
It was
the
probably-
fall and winter lineup of
Honestly, it was probably because
sitcoms.
NBC got to him. Like as he was writing it, he probably took some checks.
From NBC, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
just
I-
like us, incidentally.
yeah, of course. Well, my friends, they called me in. They said, you did such a good job on all of our other shows. We're bringing out the big guns. You need to save 1984. So I haven't come up with a name for this segment yet, but the listeners have already heard whatever weird ass intro song I've made for this. We're going into the vault. We're going back.
Isn't that
and
nice,
we are-
listeners? You guys know more stuff than we do.
I know, because I
What's
haven't even
What's
made
it
yet.
like? You're in the future.
Yeah, but
You
they're
know
also in the
so
past, 'cause
much more than us.
These
like-
episodes go out a week after we record them. so
Exactly. But like
they're listening to the past.
you're listening to that. It's like watching a star.
Mm.
It's a little
Anyway.
time capsule. Anyway.
So this is 7. I counted 12. I counted 12 shows that were running on NBC from 1983 to 1984, all of which were canceled after one season. And so we are going to go through and we are going to fix we're going to save 1984. So the first show that I would like to show to you, the first one, and we have a new rule. NBC called me.
Okay.
They said no extended universes, and I was like, I get it.
Now,
But-
wait. What if I cram all these shows together in one extended universe?
No, I see. Here's the thing. I've looked at the lineup. That's going to be an impulse.
Okay.
And they said that to me as well. And they said the other thing is you can't make them all superheroes. Because I know, look, I need you to keep that in your mind's eye as the next 12 weeks of us going through these programs. But at least 8 of them do pretty much make up the League of Extraordinary Men. So I just want to tell you that this is going to seem like we need to do a superhero team up crossover.
Mhm.
But the guys at NBC, they said, please, it's pretty much your bit every week. So
Okay, well, fine then. I'll call the guys at Fox. They're pretty into hacky stuff.
we'll call the guys at ABC. Fuck you, NBC.
ABC,
so-
how about the Masked Singer 2? I don't know.
that's gone on for plenty of seasons. I think they're fine. I'm gonna send you the 1983. As soon as I find the chat, Robot, the 1983 film that we are going to be starting with. It is about a politician, a political advisor, inspired by the film
no.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
I
This is,
should
of
not
course,
have clicked on this link so soon.
this is, of course, Mr. Smith. Now, Zach, does anything stick out to you particularly about the television show Mr. Smith?
Mr. Smith was a sitcom that aired on NBC from September 23rd through December 16th, 1983. The main title was a talking. Hold your. Let's. What do we think it's gonna be?
Play along at home. Why don't you guess?
What do
it's
you
a
think?
talking what?
So the Mr. Smith, I will say that I'm assuming this character goes to Washington. I will
he
tell
does. He
you,
becomes a
this
political
character's-
advisor.
I will tell you, there are 2 characters. They are named Cha Cha and Bobo. Cha-Chan?
Bobo might give it away.
Cha-Chan, yes, it certainly might. Cha-Chan Bobo. Okay, so play along at home. What do we think Mr. Smith is? Submit your answers to meetthefockers2 fockedup@gmail.com or text them to one of us.
Personally.
He was an orangutan.
Yes,
an orangutan who played Mr. Smith had previously been featured in the 1978 film Every Which Way But Loose, which is a which is an action comedy starring Clint Eastwood alongside an orangutan.
Cha-Cha the orangutan.
Cha-Cha.
I don't know what his real name is, but he plays Cha-Cha.
Oh, I am so sorry. So 1978 film, Any Which Way But Loose. And
yes,
you know audiences in 1978 were clamoring
for
more of that content
for it.
Because there was a sequel called Any Which Way You Can, starring Clint Eastwood and this orangutan.
And Cha-Cha the orangutan.
I'm watching these movies.
I'm watching this series. So he is a circus orangutan who then, it's real convoluted. There's a lot of lead up before he is a political advisor. But basically, he's in the circus. He gets scared because his owner gets knocked unconscious in a car wreck. So then the two of them leave, Bobo and Cha-Cha. Not clear what happens to Bobo, but Cha-Cha then ends up in like a government research lab, and then he drinks an experimental mixture that gives him human intelligence. Canonically, his IQ is 256. This comes up a lot. He renames himself Mr. Smith and becomes a political advisor a la Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Now, that does not happen in the film Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, but Mr. Smith, the monkey Cha-Cha, the orangutan Cha-Cha, does
Which,
go
honestly,
to Washington.
Is probably, even though it came out later, is the original Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Let's give it its due.
This is the spiritual sequel to Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, where Mr. Smith, the orangutan, does become a political advisor, and his old trainer, I think, becomes his assistant. Anyway, it does feature a real orangutan, but sometimes he's a puppet, and you can find this really great ad where they're trying to like make money or something, and so you dial a number, and Cha-Cha the orangutan tells you to dial a number so that you can give him money. It's a really weird ad. But if you dial 1-900-APE, which I don't think is enough numbers, it is a weird ad.
Yeah,
this show is so bad, it's almost impossible to
go
find
back
footage.
and edit in to dial it into 1-800-APE.
1-800-APE. No, it's definitely 1-900. I just don't think, but APE isn't enough numbers. It's unimportant. It was 47th out of 57th that week. It is not the worst rated show in the 1983-1984 lineup, but it is a pretty bad show. So we need to save.
I gotta say, I can like
Mr. Smith.
It is so tempting to make this guy the leader of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I think we need to just put that on the back burner.
It's already there. I'm gonna be personally away from the audience, writing my own sort of thing, writing my own sort of script doctor down here, where it does involve him being like a leader of a team, where the final episode ends, and then like it's actually the final episode of another series you're talking about,
Sure.
and then Mr. Smith comes in and says, "I'm putting together a team."
If you thought for one fucking second that I didn't go through every one of these synopses and like plan out how I could make a comic book out of the 1983-1984 NBC failed sitcoms, there is a ghost, there's a team of bounty hunters, there's a guy that turns into animals, there's two detectives. It's a fucking wild year. Get ready for saving 1984, because we got a lot of shit to fix.
Honestly, this is how we get our bag. Is we finally once the show's retired, we put it away because we are now a la The Boys. We are writing a comic series that will get turned into whatever the hell comes after Hulu and Amazon. It's going to turn into one of those original series, and it's going to be called Saving 1984.
Zach, this is cut to 3 years from now where we're the McElroys and we're like, hey, our new graphic novel's coming out, but our graphic novel is all characters from the worst year of NBC sitcoms, where it's like, yeah, these two assholes on their Laugh 'Em Up podcast just made a comic book out of canceled NBC sitcoms from 1 year.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah,
it's not. It's
but
not because these shows are bad.
But this is not it because
TM because we're not allowed to do that. The guys at NBC said we weren't allowed, but maybe if we send them
honestly,
issue
if we pitch them such a bad idea for the show, it'll get canceled. I mean, what?
I think the bad idea is the actual show because it was very bad. Pretty much, it was 47th out of 57. It was a pretty shitty television show.
All right, so what do you got for me? What are your ideas?
What? Okay.
Well, I will tell you this.
Yes.
It got nominated for an Emmy, so can't be that bad.
Well, it didn't get nominated for an Emmy. The musician got nominated. Outstanding achievement in music composition for a series. Patrick Williams got nominated for an Emmy for the episode Mr. Smith Falls in Love.
Mr. Smith Falls in Love.
Mr. Smith did not get nominated.
Mr. Smith Falls in Love, followed quickly by Mr. Smith Gets Physical.
Sucks so bad. Mr. Smith rescues Bobo. Oh, I guess that's what happens to him. Here's okay.
Oh, look at that. We're actually, so this episode is being recorded and will be released. This is being recorded on October 14th, which is the same time that Mr. Smith finds his brother.
And it will probably be released up on October 21st. Goodbye, Mr. Smith. Oops. Our bad. Okay. Now, I'm going to throw, you know me, I'm going to throw out some bad ideas and maybe we'll get to something good. Obviously, I'm in a gritty reboot. What if it was real? Mood.
Well, here's the thing about this:
House
is
of
it
Cards,
is not.
Mr.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm listening.
Mr. Smith. Okay. So we've got episode 12. Mr. Smith goes public. Episode 13. Mr. Smith goes to court. I assume that entire episode revolves around the premise. There's not a rule that says an orangutan can't be a political advisor.
Yeah.
After which he runs for Senate, gets it. We pick up there where he's in the Senate. He's whipping votes. He's trying to do whatever, and eventually he becomes the president. But in the process, he loses himself, and maybe like Bobo dies or something, or gets addicted to crack. I don't know. It's a gritty.
It is.
So
he
probably
80s.
gets addicted to crack. Is it the? Oh, it's because it's in it. Oh yeah, I don't know if this is still set in the 80s.
I like it to be set in the 80s, and here's the reason why.
Wolf of Wall Street, but Mr. Smith.
Well, here's the thing. I think we could finally put some. Well, first off, I think it would work as a great commentary for those that know. In 1983, the president was Ronald Reagan, who famously starred alongside Chimp in his early career.
Was that Chimp named Bobo?
I don't think so.
Sorry, you keep going with your idea. I'm gonna look up Ronald Reagan's monkey.
But yeah, I think honestly it would be because it's a period piece, and I think it's a period piece that is set in a really tumultuous time. Like obviously we're living in a tumultuous time, but like 1980s, Iran Contra. We have some of we have AIDS epidemic going on. We have a lot of we have the Cold War is coming to a head.
Yeah. There's Dr. Manhattan's out there.
Exactly. We have a lot of really scary stuff, and I feel like when people think about the 80s, they always think about the bright colors. They think about the music, think about the new wave. But no. There was a lot of stuff happening in the 1980s that set the standard for how we do things now, based on like foreign policy and things. So with that in mind, it's like the undertone of the series is like, who's the real animal in the Senate? Not fucking Bobo. I'll tell you that.
So he's the one that's saying like we need to stop Vietnam. That's wrong. That's the wrong time period. Whatever. He's the one saying like we need to Mr. Gorbachev tear down that wall, and Reagan's like, I'm gonna take that line. And like, are you saying Reagan's the sorry? I got real lost because
I'm saying that there's a lot of really fun, unexplored sort of things happening, and like because it's been happened because it happened like 40 years ago, you can kind of get
Yes.
away with like, doing a retelling of it because, there's some pretty wild stuff, but all that through the lens of a power hungry monkey that's making his way through politics.
So he still does want to be the president. He wants to be president orangutan.
Yeah. He wants, and like, the story starts where he's, he becomes a political advisor
Sure.
and even like maybe like a lobbyist or whatever. And,
Right.
it kind of gets in the sense of like, one, there's the mystery of like what's all. 'Cause here's the thing that I think is the most unexplored from this show that I reread through on the IQ thing. Who are these scientists? Who are these guys?
What if there are other monkeys?
Yeah, it's what. Yeah, so
Or
they
a giraffe or
have this
something.
they have this untested serum that gets people to an IQ of 256. And
Well, that's just from an
and
orangutan. Imagine
yeah,
what
and
a
some
human.
monkey falls ass backwards into
He's
a
an
thing,
orangutan.
and then some orangutan falls ass backwards into this lab, drinks it, and then immediately is like, "I'm going into politics," which is a
Yeah.
bananas, pun intended, way of being. And yeah, like so season 1, you have a lot of this like, ooh, political intrigue of like, oh,
Sure.
the Cold War, like what's going on? Like we're all like, we live now where our history is already defined.
Right.
And with the addition of there being a monkey there, we can probably chimp being there.
Still wrong. He's an orangutan.
An orangutan, we will be able to, have some liberties in what happened.
Sure.
But all of a sudden, towards the end of like season 1, the scientist characters become a little bit more mysterious, become a little bit more involved in the plot. Next thing you know, bing bang boom, giraffe running for vice president, whatever.
That's okay. That's where I'm. So here's what I'm gonna. I don't know the original series. I'm sure it's perfect and great. I need one tweak to episode 1. I need one tweak, right? Where they say, okay, so he, instead of drinking the serum accidentally, they feed it to him and then he escapes, which honestly might be the plot, but I don't think so. So right before that, he first shot, gritty reboot. He's staring in the mirror and they're like, Mr. Smith, you've got your speech coming up. And he's like, and he's looking down at his arm and there's a tattoo and it says like 15 or whatever. And he's like,
like 0015.
0015. Right. And he's just like, right. So then again, we do some shit by like episode 6. We actually figure out how, maybe it's like episode 2. I don't know. I don't write TV shows. I mean, I do for this, but I don't.
We do know how to write TV shows.
For
we know how to write
this.
TV shows.
But
Don't
let's
take
say
away our
at
bag.
some point we have a flashback where it's in the lab and they refer to him as like patient 15, but then we see these doctors and they're walking past and there's this whole zoo of other animals and they've all got little numbers, right? So as the show goes on, maybe at some point, like, then yeah, there's a giraffe, there's a wombat who, like, he wanted to be the political advisor, but instead he was trained as an assassin, right? He's an assassin wombat, and he hates Mr. Smith for the life that he could have had, and so he wants revenge on Mr. Smith. And then I don't know, some other shit happens, but there's this whole, like, now they're not superheroes. I want to be clear. They're not superheroes.
Okay.
They're superhuman. They're animals that it's like a BoJack Horseman meets pretty realistic reboot.
Meets season 1 of House of Cards. Season 1 of House of Cards, and then season 2, episode 1 of House of Cards.
It's the only good parts of House of Cards, which is, yes, season 1 and season 2, episode 1, meets BoJack Horseman. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I love that. And also, I think it'd be even interesting to like explore, because I think when a real trope of scientists having their own sort of like, so the scientists, you could really easily like fall into the writing thing and even like give that as an explanation in the beginning, where it's like the scientists are like playing like the we just wanted to see if we could. We never asked if we should. Blah, 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 that sort of
very
thing.
Mary Shelley, yeah.
Yeah, where they're just like, oh man, like what have we created? And then like it is like, they're still kind of around, and then it's later revealed that they are trying to establish their own new world order. with all of these
Right.
like these animals, and then there becomes like the question of like, what is free will? Like, are you doing what the scientists like brought you up to do, or
Now
are you
wait a
doing what
minute.
you really want to do? And like because it'd be fun to think like a really smart monkey that's going to get attention immediately,
Sure.
and the next thing you know, like people might fall into sort of the gimmick, and the next thing you know, you're given this orangutan like tremendous power.
Nuclear
And
codes. Yeah.
yeah, all because it's just like, haha, what a fun thing. And by the way, the 80s, it was wild back then. No one knew what was going on. Bright colors,
Bay of
bad
Pigs, all that
haircuts.
shit.
And next thing you know, like you're given this really charming, really devious like orangutan, tons of powers. And then on the other end of the on the other end of the world, you have some toucan running for office in South Africa during a very tumultuous time in their history.
That's true.
And then like, what's going on there? And then boom, 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 New World Order.
Now let me take it and turn
We
it.
got a friggin' wombat running some really high rise.
He's doing Iran Contra.
Yeah, we got some wombat who's doing some pretty shady stuff with Japanese like capitalism. It's getting pretty wild.
Let me take it and turn it. Maybe the scientists aren't trying to establish a new world order. Let me give you a little bit of different. How about the serum wasn't for the monkeys, the orangutans, the animals at all, right? The serum was for some other shit. They were trying to make super soldiers or whatever beat the Soviets.
Yeah, because
then-
that is also a good thing to remember at the show. Like this is during a time where we didn't know that the Soviets in the 1980s were incompetent. We didn't know that yet.
That's true. We didn't know they were stapling oranges to fern trees. We didn't know they were or apples.
Yeah.
A real story, which is real funny. But anyway, so we have one researcher, and all right, so we've got this B plot over here. Let's say season 1 of Mr. Smith, we don't even meet Mr. Smith.
Whoa.
We meet Cha-Cha the monkey, the orangutan. It's very hard to remember that he's not a monkey. We meet Cha-Cha the orangutan, right? But we've got this whole B plot. We've got these scientists, and they're trying to beat the Soviets. And then we've got these environmental terrorists, a big 70s and 80s thing, where people are so whacked out about nuclear power and also what will eventually become our world order of destroying the planet. And they're like, let's blow shit up and do terrorism to stop industrialization, right? So they infiltrate the scientist. One of them becomes one of the research assistant, falls in love, but not like in a sexual way, but just like loves Cha-Cha. And then he says, I'm going to give this to you because if they can know how intelligent you actually are, they'll stop testing makeup on you or whatever they're doing to the animals. The scientist wants to stop that, so he gives the super serum to Cha-Cha so that he can now talk. But Cha-Cha got fucking ice in his veins, you know it, and he I don't know, kills him. I don't know, some shit, and he's just like.
So
and he goes
basically
and
you're pitching Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
I'm pitching Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and at the end of it, there he I don't know, kills somebody, takes their suit, puts the suit on. If you listeners, if you haven't Googled it, he wears a funny suit. He puts the suit on, and he says, and they're like, Cha-Cha, what are you doing? He's like, call me Mr. Smith. Cut to black. That's season 1.
I like that idea. So yes, I like it. I like it more as a sort of like interspliced prequel thing because I just really love the idea of just like the audience being dropped in the middle of the story where there's like already sort of like an orangutan senator and you have to kind of like come to terms with that. And then you're just kind of like, whoa, this is kind of weird. And then his more dark and devious nature, like at the beginning, because we the audience, we're meeting him as he wants to be perceived to be. He's like a happy senator, like he's like da 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 da, and then over the course of the series, you're just like, whoa, this guy is bad news. This orangutan rather is bad news.
And then it's interspersed, like that whole episode. That's episode. Okay, so it's a 10 episode. Well, no, I guess we already know how many episodes it is. It's a 13 episode season, right? So episode 12 is the one where we get the full backstory. We actually find out. And it's interspersed with like 2 other things, right? Number 1, it's interspersed with him at some like charity event and him being like, everybody loves him, right? That's when we get the most devious shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also interspersed with his rival, who is probably a human man, because that's the funniest thing I can think of.
Yeah, human man who's, like
a human man.
Who's a journalist.
Yeah, I feel like if it was a wombat, there's a little bit of equal playing field, but a guy who is like playing it straight as his actual political rival, but he is just a human man. Very funny to me. Even though this is a serious, gritty reboot, I do like the idea of a human man as his adversary. Anyway, and he's like, don't fuck with me. And by this point, because it's episode 12, like, shit's about to go down. Because, you do the thing where the second to last episode is when all the crazy shit happens. And then the last episode of the season is like, where are we now? It's like a come down where we set the table for season 2.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the last episode 12, we've got the full backstory. We finally figure out what happens. We see him kill the scientist that fell in love with him. And we see him at a charity event and everybody loves him and all the pieces are coming into place. And he does something. He maybe he's like, don't fuck with me. And then kills another dude. That's the big, like, his rival that you thought was like the big bad for the season or for the show. Like, oh, these two, this is the show. Is Mr. Smith versus like Nedley or whatever his fucking name is. Mr. Smith versus Senator Nedley. And then he just like a wolf in a tuxedo fucking bites his head off. And he's like, I told you not to fuck with me. And then I don't know what we do for episode 13. I'm only one man. I'm only one man. I can only do so much. We
obviously need the writing staff.
We obviously need a writing staff.
Yeah, looking at this picture of Mr. Smith we have here, just the idea of him saying "Don't fuck with me" in his little suit and his little glasses is like it is the best.
Reads. That's what he would say. Here's the thing. So they use a real orangutan on the show. This is on the real show, not on our bullshit show. Our bullshit show that, hey, for real, I do think would actually be a better television show than Mr. Smith.
I think it would rock. I think I think any high concept 1980s political thriller would work really, really well. So let's just throw this orangutan in it, make it even more tantalizing.
But when he talks in the show, he's a puppet because all I can see is the promos. Because all that's left is the promos from this really bad show from the
they burned it.
I don't know what's a good name? I want a good name that isn't also the name of a war crime, but like the executions. I don't know, something of 1984.
What are you talking about? What?
I'm trying to describe what NBC did to their own programming.
Canceled?
Like the Bloody Valentine's Day of 1984. Never mind, this sucks. You see what I'm getting at? But it sucks.
They just like
all I can think of is war crimes that aren't funny.
Yeah, they just like did retconned it out of they retconned it out of history itself. They went back and they just like deleted the files. They wanted nothing to do with this.
We'll work on it. We'll workshop it. Right now it's saving 1984. But anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. And now I'm going to stop talking because I've just totally forgot what I was saying. Goodbye.
Oh, no. All right, everyone. It's just me now. I am Get Better, the podcast. Yeah, no, I think this is an amazing idea. So what I have just found right now is an NBC TV series, Mr. Smith Orangutan Sliding Puzzle. I can get it on Amazon.
You must send this to me.
I can get it on Amazon right now for $19. So that's kind of my whole thing.
I want to find copies of this show.
I didn't know what a sliding puzzle is, but it has him in a little suit looking like Frasier. He's holding a briefcase, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
There's only one left in stock. Order soon.
Wow, it's either going to be you or me. Oh, well, you know what a sliding puzzle is. I'm looking at it. There's a one empty space, and then you click around.
Oh.
I thought you were silent because you were buying it.
No. I was genuinely looking at, because I did not know what that little symbol in the top was, and yeah, it's a little sliding puzzle.
I think that is probably
I think it's
a little holder piece.
That is so damn funny, because it is the image I'm looking at is still in its box.
Yeah.
It's because so someone was like holding on to this, like I'm gonna really cash out.
I'm gonna make 14. Now see, I've got Prime. I think I've got Prime, so it's $14.
I don't think, you know what, bud? I do not think that this is a Prime deal. It is Prime Day, but I do not think that these are in the warehouse ready to go.
You know, I don't know why. I just said that because it was a lower price.
You just wanted to flex on me? You just wanted to flex
no,
so you
I
could
just
save
assumed,
$3?
I just assumed the reason that mine is lower is because of Prime. Also, I'm always trying to flex on you. I don't have Prime, actually. So the reason I hadn't seen The Boys sooner is because I always forget that we have Amazon Prime because it is my wife's family account. Unless Jeff Bezos is listening, in which case both me and Sophie separately have bought separate Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I bought
I have my little robot in the room right now, so good thing though it's only hearing my side of the story.
I know. Anyway, no, it's $21 with shipping and handling.
That's not bad, and then you have the collector's item forever. And then when we have to buy this now, so that when we flip all of the value.
We have to buy this before the episode comes out.
What?
Our listeners are gonna buy this thing from under me.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. And there's only one of them, so actually, I'm gonna keep track of it, because if it does get bought up, that means we have at least one listener.
God damn it! No, I'm buying it.
Oh,
fuck!
Are you for real?
Yeah, I think I'm buying a Mr. Smith sliding puzzle.
All right, make sure. No, so I'm saying it's a good idea, because I'm telling you, we're going to take this and we're gonna flip it. And the value of this thing is going to triple, quadruple once that comic comes out.
Yeah.
And people are going to be like clamoring for some 1983 Mr. Smith, sliding puzzles. But it's like, nah, it's mine. Keep it in the box. Keep that shit in the box.
Okay, where is it shipping to?
Yeah, dude, just go ahead and sign it now. Just go ahead and sign that shit.
My house. Place order. God damn it. Well, I bought it.
All right.
I'm the sole owner of the Mr. Smith sliding puzzle for $21.86.
Whomever is on the other end of that deal is just gonna go like, "What the fuck?" They're gonna be like, "Okay, like,
wait, really?
Why now?"
Yeah,
After all this time, they're probably like, they're just gonna have to go in. You probably made that guy's day like way worse, because he was probably thinking like, international pandemic, there's no way I'm gonna have to drive my ass all the way out to this storage locker that I have in Santa Monica,
right? Of course,
to get this puzzle and then send it to you. I'm telling you, you're gonna get an email pretty soon that's gonna say like, "Hey man, getting this to you is gonna be kind of a bitch." So I want
I'm never getting it.
If there's a tip option, please feel free to do that for me.
So it's hard to find Mr. Smith DVDs, because there's not only Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, but also
why do you need the DVD, brother?
I want to see the television show.
You have the sliding puzzle.
There's also Mr. and Mrs. Smith, starring Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. So if anybody can hook me up with some Mr. Smith DVDs so I can watch this television show, that would be great. Mr. Bean, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. No, I want to see the show.
Yeah.
But
I'm
kind of manic. I can
I'm already
see this
pretty
happening.
set on watching the movie, the Clint Eastwood movies. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I feel like I'm having kind of a manic spell, because I did just buy that sliding puzzle, and now I'm trying to buy DVDs. I'm gonna close Amazon.
And with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this show.
That's probably a good idea. Before I spend all my money on dumb bullshit for this show.
Anyway, that's our show. Thank you all so much for listening to Get Better. You can find us at get_better_podcast on Instagram. That is Get Better Podcast, all with underscores. And you can also reach us at meetthefockers2, fockedup@gmail.com. Please reach out to us if you have any way of getting Mr. Smith related content. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, if you have another Mr. Smith sliding puzzle, I will buy that from you for only $19. I will not go above that price. And if you haven't,
because you want to be less dumb than me, you don't want to spend $21.
Yeah, I really, because now that they know that I want it, the value of it's going to increase. You got, since we're recording it now, that guy hasn't listened to the episode, so he doesn't know the value of it is going to, quadruple in a couple of years. So I'm going to get on the ground with mine now. All right, and that's all I have, so see you guys next week.
All right.
All right.
See you bye forever.
See you bye forever.